Hello model kit builders. I'm going to make a few more model kits than usual this year, I think. Just not as many finished products I want to buy these days, so I'm going to spend my time building model kits. I've seen these like stabilizer things that are supposed to help you make models. This is, I don't know, I think the brand here, but I guess they must make airbrushes. So it literally just came in a plastic bag, and this is what was inside the bag. So no box or anything like that. Probably not best to give this away as a gift. Alright. So I believe the concept is the heavy weight of this ball is supposed to allow you to grab this stick and stabilize your hand so you can paint stuff or scribe stuff more stably. I gotta say, that is a heavy steel ball, it seems. And then we have an aluminum base. So let's take a look here. Well, so here's the issue without a box. The thing literally dented itself during shipping because that's a really heavy steel ball. So don't expect a really pretty item. Anyways, we do have a rubber grip thing here, and there's a website if you want to check that out. But if you don't have the grip, it's going to slide around, right? So I might as well just put this on right now because I think pretty much everyone is going to use this. It is 3M, so I would have to assume it's going to have pretty good adhesion. I can find an area that doesn't pull up the actual adhesive. This is a problem with pretty much all stickers on rubbery products. It's really hard to actually just get to the backing. And I actually have fingernails still, I haven't cut them. Okay, here we go. Alright, good enough. Okay, so I want to weigh this stuff. I didn't see any specs on the AliExpress listing about weights. The base being milled aluminum, 105. I think it did say the dimensions, but I forget what they were. So this thing is around 65 millimeters in diameter. Okay, so now this ball is around, let's see, you'll notice I'm not wearing a shirt as I live in the tropics. It's 38 millimeters. And this ball alone weighs 226. So more than twice the base. So now, in total, you got 330. The handle, if you want to get the real total, 342. This handle is aluminum and is sandblasted, I guess, for some grip. So this is going to thread in here. You might want to actually use some thread lock because I have a feeling it might actually work loose after using it a while. Okay, so now that just sits in here, and the question is it going to stabilize my hand? It's smooth, right? So it's a smooth ball, so it's not providing much resistance. I feel like maybe, well, I don't know if there's a solution for that, really. Maybe not. I've seen, I think U-Star has one where there's a rubber pad that goes inside here, but this doesn't have such a thing. This was a cheaper one. So the first test we're going to try to do is I have this 3D printed grill for a project. I'm going to try to take my very small display brush and just freestyle paint into the recess, not the outside. That would be too easy. So right now my forearms are resting on the edge of the table, stabilizing, but I'm just going to not have this hand touch this piece of plastic. This is going to be a disaster, I already know, because it's not stabilized. Okay, it's not. I think I need more paint. So I definitely got some on the edge, and that's what I was trying to avoid. But I don't mind the edge. It's the top surface I'm trying to not get black paint on. Okay, but all right. So if you look here, the top surface clearly has some black paint right around there. Not so much elsewhere though. So that worked out a lot better than I thought it would. Now, how I would do this without this ball thing, though, is this is just how I instinctively do it. I stabilize my hand with these two fingers. Alright, so now, let me do this row. So, see, my hand is a lot more stable because I'm like creating a third point of bracing with my other hand. So now, I definitely know this is more stable than before. And that's what I've been doing pretty much all my life, doing this sort of thing without the need for a ball. This, if you look closely, I don't think I got any on the top surface. It's on the side, but yeah, if we look straight at it, there's none on the top surface, but clearly there is with no stabilization of your hand. Okay, so that's a given, right? Now let's see about this ball, if I can make any difference. What I realized is if you just hold it up here, the thing moves. It's not very stable. What I didn't realize earlier is once your hand rests on that ball, now the weight of your arm keeps this from moving so much. You know, it can still move, but it's far more stable once you have the weight of your hand. So now I have my hand resting on the ball and my forearm resting on the edge of the table, and now my fingers here. So I have a suspicion that this is going to be much more stable. So I'm going to move this back a little closer, and then move the camera here, and now get a little paint on here, stabilize my wrist on there, and now hopefully it's in focus. Let me try to focus on this fingertip. All right. Doesn't help that my paintbrush is a little curved right now. Not enough paint, or maybe the paint's starting to dry out already. But my wrist definitely feels more stable. That's for sure. And again, I'm actually instinctively touching that hand, but maybe I shouldn't. All right. So now the issue I'm noticing is it's not this hand that's the problem. Right now, it's this hand. It's just kind of free floating, right? So I think if you really want to have both hands touch each other, and then it should be extremely stable. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to hold this. I'm going to try it with this gap here. I mean, that worked, but I don't think it's much different than without the ball. So, all right. Let's try something else. So here's the bag it came in. I'm going to just try to paint a line here. So my hand's kind of resting on this. Or you know what, I'll just put it on the table. And so my forearm and actually now my wrist are on the table. That's pretty stable. I don't know if this is going to make any improvement, to be honest with you. I have a suspicion it won't. But it feels so much better. Yeah. I mean, it could have just been the way I held the curved brush. It feels more stable for sure. Whether it's truly performing better, that's hard to say. I have relatively stable hands when my forearm is resting on the table. Alright, you know what? This brush is not a good medium to test something. I need just like a pen. So, here, without the ball. So that's me now with the ball. This is a case where maybe it's actually causing a different geometry in my finger and making it more difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that makes any beneficial benefit to my ability to draw. Right, so just drawing a circle, but see, my whole hand is resting. So doing this with the ball now. I feel like it's throwing off the circles because my hand is actually flexing. So I don't think it's going to help you actually draw, which is very similar to painting. So I don't know about this so far. Alright, well, here's another idea I had. The ability to use tweezers, because I think I would use tweezers and toothpicks to apply decals or place things on a certain model. So here's a ruler. Here's some centimeter increments. So just with my hand here, I'm going to place these things at those increments. Okay, well, I gotta say this is pretty easy because I'm resting my hand on the table. It's very stable. Now I'm gonna try to move them while I'm using this ball thing. Maybe I gotta change the distance a little bit. Where's the proper distance? Maybe like here, I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think there was any difference. Yeah, I want to like this, you know, because I did pay money for it, you know. I would rather not just buy things I don't need. All right, what about this? We'll try to scribe a line here. Just right now, the way I would probably do it traditionally is put my 2 fingers here to stabilize it. I'm going to try to draw a straight line. It's curved. Yeah, that's not really straight. Let me try again. That's not very straight either. I want to see if I can make a difference with this. I gotta weight the ball with my wrist. I gotta figure out the distance here. All right. I don't know if that's a fluke chance, but it is straighter. I don't know about that one being straighter. Let me try gripping it this way. 2 fingers around this thing. So now my hand's floating out this way. No. No. That wasn't too bad. I'm going to just try it without the ball now. That wasn't bad either. It's kind of straight, actually. So, yeah, that's straight as well. No, the second one wasn't. It's hard to trace. This is also something difficult to do without magnifying glasses, in my opinion, which I'm not wearing. That was pretty straight, and I'm not using the stabilization ball. That could be the best one. It feels like it's easier with the ball to do. That was a very straight one. It was just easier to repeat and trace that line. Yeah, that definitely felt easier using the stick, but without it, that one wandered, see? It's like, well, this one did trace fine. That one was okay, it's just not very straight. Oh, but this one is straight, so inconclusive. I don't think I have a definitive answer as to whether or not this is going to make your life easier, unless you have really shaky hands. It's just that I don't really have shaky hands. I haven't had any coffee today, so granted I have paint and nastiness on my hands, so I apologize for that. All right, well, I don't have an answer for you guys. Is this worth buying or not? I feel like it feels better to use, but the actual results are highly questionable. I mean, definitely just holding two hands like this is not going to be stable. But once you lock the two together, that's a pretty stable environment for me, at least as I've been doing it so far. So I'm just going to leave it at that. With my other builds, I'm going to try to use this for my builds, you know, maybe an application of Decal and see if it helps or not. And I might just have to leave something in the comments later, or maybe I'll just do a different video and delete this video if it turns out to be much better. Alright, so sorry everyone, that's the best I can do. Thanks for watching. Take care.